with you? You thought it was a joke?
Hi, Emily. I have no idea what you're talking about. I never thought anything was a joke.
Is that so? What the hell is this then? I need an explanation. What kind of wedding food is this? This is such garbage. How dare you send your in-laws such garbage like this? You didn't take it seriously, did you? What kind of family did you think we are? We deserve more than this. I don't understand how you went on your honeymoon so happily after what you provided to us. This is beyond garbage.
I don't understand. I thought I followed everything your mom requested. Can you tell me what was wrong with it?
It's hilarious you thought we would be happy about it when you provided us only 10 plates of it. Do you have any idea how many family members there are? We are such a big family that we have a lot of cousins and second cousins. And only 10 plates will never be enough for all of us.
Well, William didn't tell me that I needed to provide more than 10 plates. Your mom said he said 7 of them would be enough, but I prepared for 3 extra plates just in case. I thought 10 would be more than enough.
There's your problem. You should have called me to confirm. My mom is too nice to demand you with things, and you should have known better. Besides, William has a master's degree from Stanford and works for Google. Not to mention he is tall and handsome. He was so popular when he was in school that girls were literally lined up for him, hoping to have at least one date with him. How can you not be diligent about it when it was supposed to be a matter of course when you're marrying a perfect guy like my brother?
I thought I tried my best in every aspect, including poultry, meat, fruits, and desserts. What did you not like about my wedding celebratory food particularly?
The number of plates is not enough to begin with. My brother deserves at least 20 plates, and only 10 of them is absurd. For example, you should have included at least 10 different kinds of fish. Not just octopus, shrimp, and abalone that you can get from every grocery market in town. Meats, fruits, and desserts should have been in variety of kinds, just like poultry. Especially for desserts. It should have been macarons, brownies, cheesecake, tiramisu, cupcakes, and caramel flan instead of just cheesecake and brownies. You know how much my son loves different kinds of desserts. How can you be so inconsiderate about your nephew? Do you really need me to continue to spell everything out for you? I was expecting something much better than this because you said you were going to prepare your best. But what a surprise! I'm completely disappointed in you. How could only 10 plates be your best? What were you thinking? How did you expect all of us to be able to take it when it's only 10 plates? I already told my sister-in-law and mother-in-law that I'll take them a complete set of amazing food. But this isn't even mediocre food. What am I supposed to do now? There wouldn't be much left after my parents and all our cousins have a bite of each one.
Wait right there, Emily. My mom made all of them by herself except for fruits and desserts. She devoted herself for hours, for days in the kitchen to prepare different kinds of foods. What makes you think you can take them to your in-laws? I have never seen or heard of a sister-in-law taking wedding food that her sister-in-law prepared to her own in-laws. I don't understand what you were thinking.
Jeez, you indeed came from a poor family, didn't you? Did you just say your mom made all of this by herself? Who makes wedding foods by themselves at home these days? There are so many businesses who are experts in this kind of stuff, and they do a perfect job. I guess you don't have enough money for them? This is exactly why poor people have hard-working hands and feet. We live in the 21st century where money can do anything and everything. Your mom had to do it for herself because neither her nor you have enough money to have someone else do it for her. It should have been extremely hard for you to prepare for it, even if it was only for 10 plates when you're from a poor family. I apologize if my family made you starve for at least a couple of months so you could save up as much as you could to prepare the food for the wedding that you couldn't even afford. You should have told me the truth. My family could have skipped on the food part.
Oh, is that so? I'm so grateful for that. Then how about you don't take even a little piece of the food and go back to your home with your husband and son? You don't deserve even a tiny piece of it when you disregard someone's kindness and sincerity. It won't satisfy your high-class taste anyway, will it?
Are you sure that's how you're talking to your sister-in-law when it's only your first day of marriage? Remember, I'm William's older sister. You should be kind and obedient to me if you want to be approved as our one and only daughter-in-law.
The only thing I need is my husband's approval. It's funny how you consider yourself someone very significant in my marriage. I'm sure William won't love the idea. Being a sister-in-law is not some kind of power trip when you're only 2 years older than me.
What the hell did you say? You still don't understand what you're supposed to be, do you? I knew it when you had your wedding at a rinky-dink church. You had to have your wedding at a church because you weren't able to afford for somewhere fancy. Your parents must be very poor who can't even get our daughter a decent wedding venue. My out-of-your-league brother was more than capable of having a wedding from the fanciest hotel, like Laguna Cliffs Marriott Resort and Spa in Dana Point, inviting millions of guests. And now I am so angry for the fact that he had to have a shabby wedding at a cheap venue because of a poor girl like you. My husband said he has never seen a shabby wedding like yours, and I was so embarrassed. Do you even have any idea how uncomfortable I was?
Did your husband actually say that?
I'm sure you know my husband works for a company that is quite well known in the town. Well, he works for Alpha International, and I'm not sure if you even ever heard of it. He has attended so many events and weddings and funerals. So if he says it's a shabby one, it definitely is a shabby one.
It was my longtime dream and my religious belief to have a small wedding at a Catholic church with only family and a few close friends. I don't need you to judge me or criticize my belief.
You should have had a hard time coming up with decent excuses. What the hell are you talking about, dreams and beliefs, when it's so obvious that the only reason why you had your wedding at a shabby Catholic church was to cover up your poverty? My kind brother might have fallen for this shit, but not me. You can't fool me.
It's a shame you can't believe it when I'm telling you the truth. Okay, fine. You don't need to believe what I say. I don't really care how you think about me because you're not someone so significant to me. I'm so busy that I don't have time to pay attention to every little detail what people say about me. I'll get going now.
Huh. What are you so busy about anyway? I know you're only heading to the airport right now to fly to New York. Oh well. Isn't life so unfair when someone is heading to overseas like Italy or Greece for a honeymoon and you're only heading to New York? It's so sad that all you could afford was a 5-hour flight within the US when a honeymoon is a once-in-a-lifetime event. It's very funny how poor people get excited just to get on the plane thinking they're flying to somewhere awesome. What's the point of it, even if they can fly for 24 hours when their destination is New York after all? Don't you think it's hilarious?
I don't understand what's so funny about it. It was hard for both of us to have a long vacation enough to go to Italy or Greece because of busy work. And we decided to go to New York because we both love the vibe and atmosphere of the East Coast. We love the city so much that we planned to go to New York ever since we started planning for the wedding and honeymoon. Is that something you need to bully or be sarcastic about?
Well, you say one thing and do another. You're such a liar! Lying about it is even worse than pathetic, isn't it? You just don't have time or money to fly out of the US because you're barely making a living by doing chores. You're lying about it because you're shameful about it. My poor little brother.
Oh my goodness. You don't know the end of it, do you? Why should I feel like crap on my first day of marriage when I should be the happiest girl in the world, at least for today? I was the happiest bride in the world and you just ruined it for me. I don't deserve what you're saying to me right now. That doesn't even make sense. Who do you think you are? Do you think being a sister-in-law is something you can brag about? I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to discourage me only because I'm your little brother's wife and you're trying to be on a power trip or something. But that's not going to happen. What did I do to you to deserve unreasonable attitude and rough words from you? To be clear, I married William because I love him, not to be discouraged by his sister. I'm telling you it's not going to work for me. So you should stop threatening me like that without valid reasons.
I'll decide on that after what you get for me from your honeymoon. I'm telling you now, I love Louis Vuitton and its newest on-the-go PM. It's a bit pricey, but you can buy it with no interest for 6 months or so. You must get that for me. And something stunning for my parents, my husband, and my son as well. Make sure to remember that you must get them for your marriage to be smooth and comfortable for the rest of your life. Let me see what choices you make. I'll look forward to it.
I said I'll get going. I need to board now.
Hey, Emma! Guess what I saw earlier today? I saw something very interesting on my way to go shopping to South Coast Plaza.
Should I be curious about what you saw?
Yes, you should be, because it is quite interesting.
What did you see that was so interesting?
I saw someone like you walking so busy dressed in a factory uniform. That was you, right? I think it was you. Not someone who looks like you.
Yes, that should be me. I visited the factory site for some reasons.
Oh, I knew it. I didn't believe it when you said you work for a well-known company and get paid for decent money. I thought it was odd when you pretended to work on an administrative side when it was so easy to see that you work for manufacturing side. I knew you were lying about it.
I guess you have superpowers, particularly transillumination, don't you? Did you say it was so easy to see that I would work at a factory doing chores? Let me hear how you came to the idea of me being a factory worker. I'm curious to know and I'm ready to listen.
Well, it so obvious and straightforward. You always get dressed in shabby clothes like the ones you can get from Marshalls or TJ Maxx. And you didn't have a single prestigious name brand handbag. You only put on moisturizer and sunscreen, no makeup at all, and no jewelry like necklace, bracelet, or rings. Most women in their early 30s tend to dress up in pricey clothing and care about their appearances, but you never do that because you can't afford it. There are so many things women can enjoy if they have money, and I'm very sorry that you can't enjoy even a little bit of it. I'm genuinely sad about how you don't know about it. Like I said, I'm heading to South Coast Plaza to get some high-end cosmetics. Maybe SK2 this time. Did you want me to get some samples for you? I'm sure they'll give me plenty of it.
No thanks. There's no need for you to do that for me. Do I deserve even samples from such a high-end cosmetic brand like SK2?
That's why I'm saying I'll get it for you. You can never get it for yourself, but I can get it for you since I'm their VIP member. It's no big deal for me, so you don't have to say no. Are you saying no because you're worried if I'll make you pay for it? You don't need to worry about that. I'm a decent human being who knows how to help people in need.
Is it so pathetic to work for a factory job?
Would it be something you're going to be so proud of? Isn't a factory job for someone who is seriously uneducated, ugly, extremely poor, and has no common sense at all? Doesn't a factory worker have a low quality of life with no chance to thrive because they can't make more than minimum wage even if they work day and night with dirty and shabby uniforms on? They barely hang on to their miserable life because factory jobs won't get them anywhere even when they try their best. It even makes me respect you that you're working so hard and proudly as a factory worker when it should be so embarrassing. It should be even more embarrassing when you're a female factory worker than a male factory worker. But still, you take your job seriously and do your best. It's something worth looking up to when you acknowledge your capabilities and fate that you can't be more than a factory worker. But I couldn't have had such a coarse job even if I were you. I can't imagine myself in a dirty, shabby uniform. Ugh, it gives me the creeps just by thinking about it.
Having such a negative and cynical attitude like that won't do much good for you.
What did you say?
I'm saying you should use your time wisely. You have so much time after you drop off your son at school, and you have nothing else to do but effortlessly spending money at high-end department stores. Do you think that's how you should use your time? I'm just asking if you agree with me that you should have a job and make money when you have so much free time.
Do you think it's easy to raise a child? What kind of free time do you think I have when I raise an elementary school kid? How dare you tell me what to do when you don't know anything about having a kid or life as a mom?
I'm not a mom or have kids yet, but I know how hard parenthood is because my sister raises not just one, but twin boys. My sister must be a woman of iron who has a full-time job while raising twins compared to you who can't hold a job when you're raising only one kid.
What did you say? Are you making fun of me? Why should I work full-time? Or even part-time when my husband makes enough for the three of us? I also came from a wealthy family, so if there's anything, my parents can help me financially. Did you think I needed to work to make my ends meet just like you who can't make it work without having a job? Working is for someone like you and your sister who are poor. You guys are working only because you have no other choice but to work in order to put food on the table. Well, I'm nothing like you, which means I don't need to work for it. You're from a poor family, aren't you? Your poor sister, who still has to work while raising not just one, but two kids. I'm really sorry for her. What can she do, though, right? You guys continue to work hard, and I'll keep having a luxurious life with enough amount of money my husband makes. I'm rooting for you two. By the way, who do you think you are telling me to get a job? You're so damn arrogant, aren't you? I can't believe such a low-life factory worker like you is challenging my authority as your sister-in-law. You're not the boss of me. I am.
This low-life factory worker came to the factory only to get on to your capable husband. Do you even have any idea?
What was that again? Who did you say you're getting on to? How dare you bring up my husband here? Are you insane? Are you out of your mind?
It's sad to inform you that I'm completely sane and in my right mind. I was told to get on to your husband and look further into him by the director of operations from the headquarters. So here I am, reporting for duty.
What the hell? So you're saying you're at the Alpha International's factory site in order to see my husband? Wait, that doesn't even make sense. What the heck is he doing at the factory at this time of the day?
Oh, he didn't tell you about it. Mr. Bobby Grant started working for our company factory site since the beginning of the year. He was demoted to the factory from the office.
Hey! He graduated from a prestigious school and worked for the company for 10 years, and now he's demoted to the factory site? There's no way it's possible. Why in the world was he demoted in the first place? He didn't mention anything about it.
Well, there were many reasons why, but the most significant one was how he was like to the student intern. She is a young girl in her early 20s, and she started an intern for Bobby's department. He started talking to her and harassing her, saying he loves her so they should go on a date or something. Moreover, he followed her every night after work, which we call stalking. You know stalking is an actual offense, right? She had a really tough time because of him, and you don't even know what she had to go through. She could have called the cops on him and put him in jail, but she was kind enough to forgive him because he was her senior from school and work. It was an offense that easily resulted in termination, but he could avoid that only because she was kind enough to let it go. Demotion was the best scenario it could have happened to him, and you should be thankful to that girl for it. He could have been put in jail, and your son could have been the son of a criminal if it wasn't for her forgiveness.
You're a liar. There's no way it could be true. You're making up a story to make me offended. I'm going to kill you.
Ask your husband yourself. You'll have to face the reality.
Are you saying everything you're telling me is true? I can't believe how he could do such a thing. I'm never going to forgive him.
That's okay. You can leave him alone. I'll take him down. He owes the company, and I'm here to look into him.
What do you mean? What did he do again? What kind of stuff did he owe the company? You're scaring me here.
There was a whistleblower who reported about how Bobby tried to sell expensive vehicle parts that we manufactured in the factory. Reportedly, he tried to do so multiple times only within 3 months. The upper management took it seriously and opened an investigation on him. As a result, we were able to find an evidence that he sold about $2 million worth of parts, and I came here to ask him about the truth.
Oh my goodness. What happens to him if everything you just told me turns out to be true? He's not going to be fired, is he? Is he expected to pay back $2 million? That's such big money.
I thought you would know already. It's common sense to pay back if you owe something. Oh, don't you think paying back is the end of it? The police will get down to it in detail, but I'm sure he will be charged with theft and embezzlement.
What's all that about? Are you saying he'll end up in jail or something?
The police and prosecutors will take care of it, but yes, it looks like it.
No way. How can you put someone into jail just for little stuff like this? Isn't that common for everyone in the world? People who work as butchers will take home pieces of beef and pork. And those who work for snack manufacturers will take home the pieces of crumbs in their pockets. Why does he need to be the only one to be criticized and punished? Hold on. Are you saying you work for Alpha International as well? Why didn't you tell me all along? You're so sneaky. You didn't need to lie about it.
I thought it might make us uncomfortable if I told you I'm the human resources manager of Alpha International, knowing Bobby works for us. And for the record, I never lied to you about my job.
Are you kidding me? You're the HR manager? Okay, that's good. You can help him then. You don't need to ask him questions or anything. You have abilities to save him, right? Hey, remember, I'm your husband's older sister and Bobby is my husband. And that makes us that we're closer than anyone else. You're not willing to throw your close family member in jail, are you?
I regret to inform you that I'm not the one who can decide to or not to put him in jail.
What was that again?
Such a big incident like embezzlement is handled by the CEO, not by an HR manager.
Who is the CEO? Can you talk to him for me? You know what? How about I talk to him myself? He might forgive Bobby if I beg him on my knees. What's the name of the CEO?
His name is Mr. Harley Monson.
Wait, isn't your maiden name Monson?
That's right. I used to be Emma Monson.
How can you have a same last name as your CEO? Are you related to him?
Yes, Harley Monson is my dad.
No way! Your dad is the CEO? Is that true? How is that even possible? I thought you were poor.
Have I ever told you I'm poor? Have you ever heard me saying anything about my family?
Well, not exactly.
Do you even have any idea how you looked foolish every time you bullied me for being poor when you didn't know what you were talking about? You never asked me what kind of family I came from or what kind of job I have. You went straight to make an assumption that I'm from a poor family and my job is a factory worker. My family are not billionaires, but we're at least millionaires. I couldn't believe you were pretending to be rich when in fact, you were the one who was poor. It was hard to listen to you, pretending to be a millionaire, but it was also hilarious. I didn't need to explain to you because I didn't care what you thought about me.
How can you say that to me when I'm your sister-in-law? Are you sure you want to have that kind of attitude for your husband's older sister? Are you going to be okay if I run to him and tell him all about it?
Of course, do as you wish. During the past 3 months since the wedding, you texted almost every single day to talk trash about my clothing and makeup. And you got so angry when I responded to your texts. Besides, you caused me a great deal of stress for pressuring me to get pregnant within 3 months. Otherwise, you will make William divorce me. You seemed so excited to abuse me that I can't imagine how mundane your life was before your brother was married because there was no one to pick on. I showed him all the texts. There were a countless number of texts, by the way. And he said himself that he's going to disown his sister, who seemed to be beyond crazy.
Did he say he's going to disown me? What is that supposed to mean?
It's pretty self-explanatory. It means he's not going to see you or talk to you anymore. Was that so hard to understand? It's funny how you were going to harass me when you don't even understand English properly. I have nothing more to say, so I'm going to stop it right now. You should know that I'm very busy taking care of the Bobby Grant situation.
Oh, please, Emma. Please save Bobby. You're going to save him, right? I desperately need your help. I'll get out of your hair and never harass you again. I'll never talk to you or text you. So please save him this one time.
I said there's nothing more I can do for him. After what happened, William and I disowned Emily and never saw her again. She came to me and begged me to forgive and save her husband this one time, but there was nothing I could do. My dad was very rigorous about theft and embezzlement. That is his strict philosophy not to forgive or let go. He couldn't have done anything for him even if she begged me on her knees day and night. Her husband ended up being sentenced and put in jail for several years. She asked her parents' help, crying as she became the head of the household overnight so unexpectedly. Unfortunately, my in-laws aren't doing so well, so all they could do for her was to be her anchor. She finally came to her senses and realized the only way to make a living for herself and her son was to get a job, even for minimum wage. She applied to so many different positions hoping to get a job and made it to the interview stage for some of them. Yet she failed and wasn't able to get into any of them. I heard the only position she was accepted to was the factory job at an electronic parts manufacturer. It's bittersweet how she is the one who turned out to be a factory worker when she laughed at me for being a factory worker. I sincerely wish that she will be able to realize every job is fair and there is no such thing as a high or low job. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more videos.